Well, welcome everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Corliss.
Here.
Halliburton.
Here.
Morales.
Here.
Nash.
Here.
Stead.
Here.
Willits. Here. All present.
Thank you. We've got minutes from the 19th.
Madam Mayor, I move approval of the minutes for the meeting on August 19th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Clerk?
Halliburton.
Yes.
Morales.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Stead.
Yes.
Willits.
Yes.
Corliss.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
And next up, the consent agenda.
Madam Mayor, I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Clerk?
Madam Mayor, before we
oh, yeah,
go
sure, sorry.
to vote, I just want to mention it's number 5 on the consent agenda, but it's the SRO contract with Boise PD and the West Ada School District, and just appreciate our school district working together with our police department and all that they do to foster community.
That sounds fun. Any other discussion?
Yeah, Madam Mayor. I did also want to call out Resolution 435 or 431. It's our agreement with LEAP Charities, and just recognizing just that we're seeing more of these partnerships and what it takes to help bring about housing and the engagement that the city is working with other agencies. And then also resolution number 436. Just want to call out, this is for a HUD grant for roughly $96,000. And again, just another great example of how the city looks to be creative with a lot of outside resources to support housing and the people that are there.
Thank you. All right, Clerk?
Halliburton.
Yes.
Morales.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Stead.
Yes.
Willits.
Yes.
Corliss.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
And now it looks like we moved to third reading.
Madam Mayor, I move that further reading of ORD-28-25 and ORD-29-25 be dispensed with, and the record reflect that they have been read the third time in full.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Discussion? Clerk?
Halliburton.
Yes.
Morales.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Stead.
Yes.
Willits.
Yes.
Corliss.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries. ORD-28-25, an ordinance amending Title IX, Chapter 2 of Boise City Code. This amendment updates the development impact fees per service unit and related schedule of development impact fees and provides an effective date of October 1, 2025. ORD-29-25, an ordinance entitled the Annual Appropriation Ordinance for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2025, appropriating $1,519,120,346 deemed necessary to defray all expenses and liabilities of the city of Boise City, Idaho for said fiscal year, specifying the objects and purposes for which said appropriation is made, repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance, authorizing a levy of a sufficient tax upon the taxable property, and providing an effective date.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I move that ORD-28-25 and ORD-29-25 be approved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Discussion?
Subject to the following amendment. Just kidding. Yeah, that's good.
All right, Clerk?
Halliburton.
Yes.
Morales.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Stead.
Yes.
Willits.
Yes.
Corliss.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Thank you. All right, we've got no special business, but one item under unfinished business. Do we have staff presenting on this? CPA 25-3?
She's not present.
Nope, okay. All right, nope.
Madam Mayor, I move approval of CUP 25-3, an amendment to the comprehensive plan to remove 128 parcels in the general area of South Cloverdale Road between Lake Hazel Road and Columbia Road from the future land use map, and request that the county that the area of impact be adjusted accordingly. I also ask that 20 parcels in the Antler Ridge subdivision be assigned a future land use designation of compact on future land use map, and let the record reflect that the council adopts the reason for the recommendation in the staff report.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Discussion?
I do have one question for Deanna, if she could. Deanna, could you remind me how this deals with the area of 10 Mile Creek planning area? I know that's in our comp plan, but was not accepted in the previous proposed area of impact. How does this particular action deal with that? Does that, or is it neutral on that, or is that something that's in our comp plan but remains an outstanding proposal to the county?
Madam Mayor, Council President Nash, it remains neutral on the 10 Mile Creek. So it would stay as part of the future land use map, but we're not requesting to amend the area of impact accordingly for that.
Understood. All right. If I could just speak to, the delay and kind of some thoughts around that. So this is brought to us because there was a statutory change that we need to identify our area of impact, and that needs to be negotiated with the county prior to the end of this calendar year. I saw that process probably as more as us doing a deeper dive into where we will actually expand in the future, recognizing that there is a lot of work that has to go into that, and that we're probably not well situated today to be able to make some of those decisions. I will say that contrary to Blueprint Boise, and maybe even some indications of councils in the past, I think this council is curious about exploring residential development in the southeast part of town. We understand that there are some constraints with developing the Columbia Ridge area that may give way in time, but are not available today, and that there is interest in developing the area south of the interstate there. I think there are some real benefits to exploring this, including a city-owned rail line that's there that might deal with some of the issues that congestion and sprawl normally might create. I think there's some unique opportunities out there, but it really comes down to the city's ability to identify and work with developers on what might meet our needs so that we're not unnecessarily subsidizing development out there, but are looking at ways that we can be helpful partners, including with sewer service out there. So after conversations with the mayor and staff and leadership, we realized that today is not the time to be able to incorporate that part of town into the area of impact. But we really made it clear to mayor and staff that council is curious about that part of town and what opportunities lie there. We may get into that process and realize, hey, this isn't right for the way that we want to grow. I do recognize that there are competing tensions here between our interest in making sure that we grow denser and higher, but also recognizing that we need more housing inventory, and council wants to be an arbiter in that tension, and we don't want to just say no to everything. So after some assurances from the mayor about how they're looking at sewer and forthcoming policies related to sewer, I felt reassured that council is in a position to have these conversations with staff about how this part of town develops. And even if today might not be the time to make that particular decision. So I'm looking forward to seeing those policies brought to us and us engaging with staff in a meaningful way on what this part of town could look like. Because I think a development out there would always, could in most situations be better with the city of Boise maintaining a leadership position in that. And I saw this conversation as us trying to have that leverage so that developers are coming to us to work with us on solutions that are right for Boise. If there is going to be development out there that would impact the airport, it would impact our largest employer, and would put more pressure on the services that we're delivering, especially around public safety. So with that, looking forward to having continued conversations about that, even if we're not addressing all that today.
Madam Mayor, if I might just like to add on to that comment, I appreciate Council President Nash and would agree in that curiosity. This obviously is an area very, very close to me as well. I'm right there by Micron and our neighbors, and we've always expected growth out there, to be honest. And Boise's thumbprint on planning and growth is really strong right now. As we look at communities around us, the the direction that our zoning code takes development is in a very sustainable and desirable way. And so getting our thumbprint on these areas close to one of our largest employers, close to a lot of amenities and services is really important. The demand is going to be there to grow in less desirable ways. You see it with Mayfield now. It'll be another development later. And I just think people will enjoy being in a more modern zoning code style development in town rather than those that stretch services throughout the county and into the next. So I look forward to learning a little bit more about what we can do to have those discussions, dust off things like the East Columbia interim development guidelines that were developed several years ago for the Columbia Bench area. As councils passed, we're exploring, being able to add 20 to 30,000 homes right there next to Micron. So looking forward to that. Thanks.
Madam Mayor, I'd just like to thank you, Deanna, for coming back. Want to echo several of the things that my colleagues said. A couple of thoughts. I have made the motion to give us a little bit more time to talk about this, and that's important for us. It is important for us to have that intentionality because this is our future, and it's also our future of our city. I think one of the things that is really important about democracy is that there's lots of new voices. Our system is based on having that. And this is an opportunity for us as council to hear from city staff about what are the plans, why was this moratorium instituted in the beginning, and then how do we move forward? And I think that intentionality is something that is absolutely important for, not only for us as a council, but also for us as a city, because we are to so many of the different points. We've got folks that are moving forward with huge expansions in different parts of our city, and we need to be able to address it and be able to talk about it. So thank you.
Madam Mayor. I don't want to expand upon what my fellow city council members have already said. I just would like to bring to attention, I think as we look at this area of impact, there's a large area there that I think just needs to continue to be addressed. It needs to be a look from the city, the county, ACHD, and I think we owe it to the citizens to say whether we're going to annex that in or not and what the time frame looks like. So I guess having that planning opportunity with the relevant agencies that need to be involved might be something I know we've talked about before and it has been talked about, has been brought up before with other councils. But I think just maybe bubbling that back up to the surface to see how do we get a group of the relevant parties together to take a look at this area and to see what, if anything, our plans are for going forward and to annexing these areas into the city of Boise. Thank you.
All right, clerk. Halliburton,
Yes.
Morales,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willetts,
Yes.
Corliss,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries.
Thank you. We do not have an executive session, correct? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Madam Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.